Welcome, everybody, to your NAZ Wranglers Roundup. I'm here with my wife, Robin Palama, and I'm Fred Palama, and we're going to have a special guest today to talk about football. We have our head coach, Coach James.
Hey, great to be here in wonderful Prescott Valley, and just excited to talk Wrangler football.
All right. Well, Coach, let's start off a little bit to get to know you. Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, I've been married for 30 years, and I've got two wonderful children, Lexi and Brady, and they're both college students, one at Boston College and one at Utah Tech. So the family resides up in the Salt Lake Valley, and I am down in the Prescott Valley.
All right. And where is it you're from originally?
Well, I grew up in Albany, New York, product of Catholic school upbringing, Christian Brothers Academy, Siena College, and been in the football world for over 30 years now as a coach, and prior to that as a player.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, what's neat is I ran into your wife and daughter. Now, Robin and I went to Utah, to Salt Lake, to meet with you in November, where we had some open tryouts. So we had a great opportunity to go and have dinner with you and your wife, and she was just a lovely person, and we had a good time. I didn't get to meet your kids because they were away at school at the time. But during this first game, I did run into them in our team shop, and I got a chance to meet your daughter. Your son wasn't there. He's at school, but your daughter was there and your wife, so that was wonderful.
Well, they did some great shopping in our wonderful team shop. We've got so much great apparel. And the other thing is they bought my son something. They're going to ship it to Boston College. So He'll be representing the Wranglers way back in Boston.
Excellent. Well, you know, we have said this before. So Robin and I, besides football, with what else we do for work, we go around the world where we do different events. And through that, we speak of football a lot. So when we are talking to the broadcast and they're able to tell us where people are tuning in from, we see the coming Wranglers have fans now all over the world. And now it's pretty neat because now we're going to have some Boston fans and a whole bunch of Utah fans because your family's, going to spread the word there.
Well, we'll keep doing that. We're football evangelists, as they say. We're spreading the gospel of indoor football.
Oh,
so
that's
a lot of fun.
That's great. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your football background, your football career? Now, I know it's a career that's been very active for a couple of years. So we don't have all day. I know we could talk about it all the time, but we want our fans out there to get to know who our coach is, where it got started and some of the big victories you had on the way up. This would be great to hear.
Well, I'll hit the bullet points then. For me, it's been a wonderful journey in football. I've been able to create football memories all over the world. Coaching in Canada with the CFL was Saskatchewan Roughriders, and then being in Europe and coaching in Russia a little bit of time in the early 90s, and college football, 14 years in the college football landscape, and at West Point, the United States Military Academy, at Kentucky Wesleyan College, at St. Lawrence University, and the list kind of goes on and on. But those experiences enabled me to be both offensive and defensive coordinators at various points in my career. And then in the Arena Football League, I've done everything from being the player personnel director to being the head coach for 15 years, two-time coach of the year in that league, and been to the Arena Bowl and taken teams to the championship level there. And so I've experienced all those highs and lows. And, this is my first year in the IFL, but already I can tell that the competition level is really high, and we're going to have to ratchet it up here in Northern Arizona to get what we want to get, which is a championship.
Excellent. Well, and that's why we're excited to bring you on with our team. There's coaches out there without a doubt, and there's coaches interviewing for this position, but just what you bring to our organization and that you're willing to bring to our organization and the people that you attract to work with you and the players that want to be coached by you, that's what we want. We want somebody here that's going to be part of our community and, help grow our team in this community. So we appreciate having you here.
Well, I love being here, and really just two things that I really believe in, and one is that quality attracts quality. Mm-hmm. So when you're out recruiting and you're talking to players, we're going to bring in high-quality players and players that mean something to the community. And the other thing is being a part of the community. That's really a second prong in my book as far as being a successful coach, is being a part of the community that you live in. And we live here for more than half the year and in and out from other parts, but it's really about growing those roots, understanding that the people that here in the Valley can respect our team, but can come out and cheer for people they know. And that's important to me too.
Excellent. Well, that's why we love having you here. So we just had a game this weekend. Wasn't the outcome that we were hoping for, but it's game one. I have to tell you, I remember a couple years ago we had a game one where we scored less points than we scored this time, and then by the end of the year we were national champions. So I think we're on that same track is what I'm looking at right now.
No, this game was much better than that game.
Well, but at the same time, what is some of the positive takeaways that you and the coaches, because when you're doing a game, win or not, you're still taking away of what was good and what happened. Of course, what went wrong, but what are some of the things that you saw the first time you got a chance to see these guys play? They've been playing against each other at practice, but now actually have a team they don't know across from them.
Yeah, training camp's a totally different environment. You're trying to assess your talent. You're trying to make sure that you got the right people. And I thought we did a good job with that, but in an express lane that the training camp really is.
Yes.
It's a quick thing in this league. You're less than 2 weeks in training camp, and then you're playing your first game. So it's really about the assessment, getting the right people in the right positions. I think we did a great job with that. We broke out to a terrific first half, but the second half we stumbled around a little bit too much and were careless with the football. So a lot of the things that we preached during training camp, I think the players really didn't understand until they got the full volume of a game and understood, the after-action report is huge. We're gonna talk about what happens after the game and what we need to do to get better, and that includes like personnel, and it also includes what we're doing, as far as plays in and out of the game. And so I think we got a great understanding of who we are. And unfortunately for us, it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, only because the second half we just didn't execute at the same level we did in the first half.
Right.
So I think there are a lot of bright spots to look at, but the number one thing for us is improvement. And we're going to see a vast improvement week to week, and that's one of the things I think fans should understand. But we understand as coaches, and that's part of our job, getting the guys ready week to week, making sure that everybody's on the same page, and creating that excitement that fans will want to come and see week in and week out.
Right. And, you brought up something that's really important, which I don't think a lot of our fans out there realize, is in the IFL, the team cannot report until 14 days before the first game. Well, they can report a couple days before that because we have to have physicals and so on, but we can't have a practice until 14 days before the first game. And whenever somebody hears that from us, they're always like, well, that's weird. It's the same for every team in the league, so it keeps it even. So we don't have that 3 months of preseason like some other sports or some other teams might have, organizations. We have 1 week. We have 40 guys in training camp that has to get cut down to 25. So that first week is deciding who you want to stay. And then that second week is the only amount of time they really get to practice as a team. So we have 5 days to really practice. I mean, they've been in training camp, but now 5 days say, okay, you are the guys. This is what you have to do. And they practiced on Monday through Thursday. Then Friday was a walkthrough. So really 4 days of hitting it hard to be able to do it. That's a lot. And that's league-wise. I mean, you have to be a smart guy. You have to be a great athlete to be able to pick it up that fast.
And what percentage has never played indoor?
That's true. You got a high percentage of players that haven't played this game before, but that's not really unique league-wide. So when you think about it, I mean, there are a lot of teams in the same boat we were as far as having a lot of rookie players. So we did have that, but we're the only team in the league that started out with a new staff as well.
Right.
So none of our coaches had ever coached together before this training camp as well. So there's a lot to learn, and the process, is ongoing. But the biggest thing is that we're all on the same page and we're all willing to learn, and so that will provide the dividends for success down the road.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about mentioning how you did is, the coaches have experience, but you've never all worked together as coaches before.
True.
You've worked with one of the coaches as one of your players, but you've never worked with everybody as coaches together before. So I didn't even put that together. So, to me, it's always been a new staff, but you all haven't sat there in the same office and planned a game.
Yeah.
So
it makes it unique.
Yes, it does. And then with our team, our field was put down on Tuesday. Did they come in Tuesday or Wednesday for their first indoor practice?
Tuesday was the first time.
It was Tuesday, right?
Turf,
So that was the first time for majority of our team to ever play with a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's fun when you sit there and watch it, but that wall could be a little scary if that's the first time in there. You don't know. Do you trust the wall? Do you not trust the wall? How does the wall feel? And they had to learn.
If you go over the wall.
They had to learn that since Tuesday. So they had 3 days to play with the wall because other practices are outside. There's not a wall.
Yeah, and you can't practice that. There's no other league that you're going to see that in but the IFL, and a lot of players that haven't played in the IFL before, you don't grow up playing the game. So if you're a high school player, you're a college player, even in other leagues, you're not seeing the confines that we have to work with week in and week out. You know, we always used to joke about it, the wall's undefeated. It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't move. You can run into it, and there's big hits. The only rule you have is you can keep the football when it goes over the wall, but you can't keep the player.
Right.
You know,
right.
so the player has to go back and play another set of downs. But that's what makes it fun. You know, I think that you get that high energy, that reverberation off the wall, all those things that happen that you don't get in a lot of other sports. And so it makes it exciting, but it makes it challenging for some players that have never experienced it before. But now they have that experience under their belt and they're ready for game 2.
Right. And in our years being involved, I've just noticed as the season goes on, game to game, the players start trusting that wall more. They start running closer to it, running into it more. They start using it to their advantage. Seems like when they're new at it, they start putting on the brakes maybe a little bit before they hit the wall, or trying to judge where the wall is. I mean, nobody really wants to hit the wall, but you have to know how to use it to your advantage. I think anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's where I sit in the stands. So that's what it looks like to me. You know, I'm also not running full blast into that wall.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
No,
So
nor do I.
Right, exactly. Well, Coach, it's great having you here. You know, is there anything you want to say about your coaching staff you have with you? I mean, we'll bring them in other days.
No, we've got some great experience. Sia Burley, you alluded to earlier, was a player with the Utah Blaze when I coached up there. So I've known him for a very long time. He's got NFL experience as a wide receiver. As an offensive coordinator in this game, he is one of the best. Larry Hendricks, who I think is one of the best all-around coaches that there is in the IFL. Not only coming from other leagues, but understanding the game and being able to teach it, because coaching is teaching. And Michael Mayer, I think Mike is a really good young coach that is really starting to understand the game as far as a coach is concerned. He played it. And so those translations, I think, are strong for us as a coaching staff. And, you know, I'm just really grateful that these coaches have taken the opportunity to coach here, and really just excited about the opportunities we have moving forward.
Right. And Coach, with you and the coaching staff, again, what everyone doesn't understand, they're just not coaching. You know, there's so much more involved than just being on the field coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, they're picking up players. They need to get picked up, brought places. They're helping out when we're getting them housed and where they put them, working on the schedule for traveling, working on meal plans, which we're still in the middle of trying to work on meal plans. So for all of our restaurants out there and organizations that want to feed the team once or twice a week or a month, we'll be more than happy to let you do it, because we have to plan all that. But the coaches kind of put all that together. The coaches are like the players working with their personnel, working with what they need. The coaches are really doing a lot of extra, not just coaching, but making sure that the guys are well taken care of. You know?
And that's something we've gotten to see the first couple of weeks that the coaching staff was here, is the work ethic. All of them, hardworking.
Yes.
They were out there pounding the pavement, getting things ready. And it was just really nice to see everybody doing their part. And, you know, everybody was equally working hard and not expecting somebody else to do their share. Everybody was equally working hard, positive environment. And that's going to be exciting, because that's good role models and good examples. And that's what's going to be leading the team, is that hard work ethic and that positive environment. And that's going to roll over. And I'm excited to see that shape this season.
Just like the community we're in here at
Yes.
Prescott Valley. Hardworking people that are dedicated to the things they do and just want to do their best. And that's what we strive for.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming and being on the show today. We're looking forward. Our next game is this Saturday. We are where?
This Saturday?
No, I'm sorry.
It's
Not
a
this
bye
Saturday
week.
is a bye week.
Actually,
Our next
this
game
Saturday,
next Saturday.
we are at Jackie Boy's Pizza from 12 to 2. Come meet the
Oh,
players out
yes,
there.
all right.
That's
So-
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot all about that. That's great. Yeah.
So that was perfect.
So not a game, but they'll be
But a lot of
enjoying
fun.
themselves
Yeah.
on Saturday. And then our next game is what I meant to say, but our next game is next Saturday. And where we at, Robin?
It's on the 13th on Sunday,
13th.
right?
Oh, it's on a Sunday.
in
Look,
San
I'm all
Jose.
wrong. It's a Sunday game.
Correct.
Right.
Wow, it's a Sunday
We're good.
game.
In San Jose.
Okay.
So Bay Area
Sunday
Panthers.
against Bay Area Panthers. I think a lot of our fans have a lot to say about that one. But tune into the IFL Network so you can go in and watch that game. And it's neat. For the past 4 seasons, we're going into our 5th season. But for the season number 1, we were just involved with the team as a business sponsor, a local business sponsor. And I made most of the games here. Not all of them that season. Robin made a couple of them. Our son was up here for all of them. And since season 2, that would be 2022, I haven't missed a game. on the road or home, but I will be missing that game. It's one of the first times I'm missing a game.
Wow.
And it has nothing to do with who we're playing and where we are, because I'm sure that's going to come up with people. It has to do, I already had something committed before the football schedule came out. And I actually sat there and said, I hope it's our bye week. I hope it's our bye week. And it was off by 1 week. It's with our other organization and with my managers and students that I'm already committed to be there. So I'm going to be tuning in as well. And I'm glad it's on Sunday because my event is all day Saturday. So Sunday I'll have off to watch that. I keep thinking of what I'm doing on Saturday. Okay, so again, Coach, thank you for coming out and being with us today. We're going to take a short break here, and we're going to bring in a couple players one at a time to talk to them and get to know them a little bit.
Awesome.
All right, everybody, we have Coach Ron James, head coach of your Northern Arizona Wranglers. And we'd like to welcome everybody back to the NAZ Wranglers Roundup. Here we have one of our players. We're going to have Robin's going to introduce, please.
All right, this is Chris Simon, offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just talking to him right before we came on here, and it's pretty exciting. It's his second season back with us.
Right.
Woohoo, welcome back.
Yeah, and talking about the experience he gained last year. Last year, his first time ever playing indoor football. So tell us a little bit about the difference.
Absolutely.
The difference you're bringing to the team this year.
Absolutely. Last year was definitely one to remember, but this year is going to be one to keep with me forever. What I learned last year was this game is a whole lot faster than the outdoor game. It's way more condensed. It's a little bit more physical because of the space that you have. And it's only 8 players on the field. So a lot of the matchups that you get with the D linemen and the other guys on the field is one-on-one. So you have a lot riding on yourself to make the play that you need to make and dominate the guy in front of you because it's just one guy. So that's the difference about the indoor ball. And I've learned that you can't get too high, you can't get too low. And it's not where you are, it's where you want to go. And you are who you are before you get there. So I try to walk into every situation this year knowing in my head that I just want to take the team to a championship. I want to win games. I want to be a better man. I want to be a better athlete, learn how to take care of my body better, even with the bare minimum. And it just makes you a stronger athlete and a well-rounded person. So I enjoy the IFL.
Nice. And that's the work ethic we need. I mean, that's what makes you pro.
Right,
And
right.
Just understanding the all around and taking care of your body and
Right.
and seeing the bigger picture of things and thinking about beyond the moment
Right.
where you're trying to get. And
Correct.
that's exciting that to learn all of that. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what you do this year, your second
Right.
season.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. Now, to help our fans out, to get to know who you are, tell us where you're from and where you went to school, how
Right.
old were you and started to play football?
Right. I'm from Dazzle, South Carolina. I started playing football maybe at the ages of maybe 5 or 6 years old. I always knew I was going to be good in football because I was always a bigger person than the other guys. And, I was more of a rough around the edges guy. I was always outside. I'm a country boy. So it started when I was younger, and then I got into park and rec, played a little bit of O-line, D-line, and then when I got to middle school, it was linebacker, O-line, D-line, and then I was able to carry the ball a little bit as well because I was faster even with my size.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going to high school. I went to Crestwood High School in Sumter, South Carolina, graduated from Crestwood playing D-line at defensive end, ended up going to South Carolina State University, which is in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and got the opportunity to play D-line and ended up switching my position to offensive line with the knowledge of my O-line coach having NFL experience. So I wanted to kind of get some of those gems and get close to people with connections that have people in the league or have been in the league. So when I graduated from Crestwood in 2018, went to South Carolina State in 2019, and graduated from South Carolina State in 2022 with my bachelor's in physical education.
Nice.
Went back for another year to obtain a master's in counseling, which was very, very challenging, but I still have that out there that I can go and get. And then I had the opportunity to have a pro day and go into the league of 2023 spring. So had a pro day in Columbia at the University of South Carolina, and it went well. And I had the opportunity to go to Kansas City Chiefs rookie mini camp, spent some time down there, and then got called up to go to the CFL, but missed my opportunity due to not being prepared and having a passport on time.
Right.
No.
I had it expedited and it came like a couple days late, but they ended up keeping some vet guys that they already had showed up. But just having that connection from being a kid, beating the odds, being a bigger guy but still playing sports, being motivated in school, being motivated in the classroom, and then not knowing that I could pay for a degree with football was another big thing. So just being in the moment, playing football, being motivated that I can do more than what I think I'm capable of,
Right.
reaching your limits. There is no limit. It has brought me a long way. So this journey with football and school and meeting people and the connections and just even the family support as well, like giving them something to do on the weekends. I look back on all of those things, and it's something that I will cherish for a long time. So
that's awesome. And we just had a game this past weekend, obviously, and you didn't play.
Right.
And I walked over to you too, and I said, "You look hungry."
Right.
You know what I meant by that?
Yeah.
You look hungry because you were standing out against that wall during the warm-ups.
Yeah.
And you just want to be on the other side of that wall. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. And you can let everybody know, what was the reason why we didn't have you play?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So last week during camp, blocking, I have a man under control, and it was just an awkward play. Guy comes in, his the outer part of my elbow, and I end up having a anterior posterior common flexor sprain, and then having a partially torn UCL. So that's gonna be taking some time to heal, but it's definitely getting better. I definitely miss being out there. I definitely feel like some things probably could have been different if I was out there. Not to pat myself on the back,
Right.
but I do want to be out there.
Right. I know you do.
And it gives me time to sit back and realize what I'm missing and why I do what I do. And it also gives me time to realize how important I am to our game plan. So it'll get better, and I'm definitely ready to get back out there, man.
Well,
So
I think you're ready to go for the next game from what I understand.
oh
It
yeah.
says
If I have to duct tape, glue, whatever, as long as I can just keep it in a safe place and
Right.
I can move around well, I'm definitely gonna get back out there.
Well, and that's what everyone has to know too. It's a team effort. Even when we have guys that aren't dressed,
Right.
you're still there for your
Right.
teammates. You're still a locker room leader. You're still getting them motivated.
Right.
You're going out when they're being called onto the field. You're going back to the locker room with them at halftime.
Right.
You're coming back out again. I watched you talking to some of the guys on the side to help coach them on a little bit, help keep their head on right, and
Right.
keep focused in the game. That's what makes you a pro. That's
Right.
what makes you a part of the team, and what makes teams want to have you in their locker room.
Right.
I think that's huge, and that's great for you.
Right.
Okay.
I just love to hear the life lessons you learned through football.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we do what we do, because
Yeah.
we see how much it influences lives and the character that it builds and the work ethic that it builds, and you learn how to work together as a team. And I'm just always excited to hear how much it's helped you in your life and helped shape your life.
Yeah. And another key thing too, when you said family, this has given your family something to do. I mean,
Right.
they're looking forward to watching you play since you've been little.
Right.
All the way to now. I mean, they're tuning in.
Yeah.
And that's good. You're out here playing, having a good time, and it's bringing your family together
Right.
to watch you and be proud of you
It
with what
does.
you're doing.
Yeah, it does. And then I
That's
do have
great.
nephews and nieces as well. So they're becoming of age to where they participate in sports, and they look at me and they're just like, "Well, Uncle CJ still plays football. Like, how old is he?" And it's possible that you can make a career and you can, make a living and enjoy your 20s or your early 30s playing a sport that you love. It has built a lot of my character, a lot of my work ethic on top of what my parents have instilled in me. It's definitely built a lot of diversity with me being able to talk with other people and be in certain rooms and not feel like I'm not a part. Football has brought me to places I never could have imagined. I've traveled all over the world. In the U.S., I've been to bowl games. I've won some bowl games, won some championships. So just being when you win and you lose, you learn something out of it, and you gain something from it. Is always a good thing because you always have tomorrow. So that's my main thing. It was a quote that I've been constantly saying to myself lately. Is like, don't worry about the days, just make today count. So I always focus in the now instead of always trying to worry about what's going to happen in the future or where I'm going to end up next or how am I going to get this done. I just handle today, and I worry about tomorrow. So,
And that's great. And see, for all our fans out there, this is why you bring your kids to the game and down on the field after the game is to meet these players like Chris here, because your kids are going to look up to them. They're great, positive role models that are athletes that you can trust talking to your children and inspiring your children to keep moving forward, no matter if it's in sports or something else.
Anything.
And that's why we want to have the fans on the field afterwards, because you guys have a lot to share.
Right, we do.
You know, it's just not about the pictures and the autographs. It's about getting to know them and have a little talk and let your kids have some positive role models that are real people.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I think that's important.
Well, thanks. Well, we appreciate what you're bringing to the team. Excited to have you here. For selfish reasons, glad your passport didn't show up on time.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I have it now. That's what counts. So
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, we'll keep it with you, because this year the championship game's in Tucson,
Okay.
and it's really close to the border. You might not need your passport, but have it with you just
Yeah.
in case.
Yeah, I have it because I definitely want to be on that plane or bus back. I don't want to get left behind.
Right.
All right. Well, fantastic. Again, thanks
you.
for coming out today. And we're
Yep.
going to take a break right now as we bring another player in to have a little conversation for your Northern Arizona Wranglers. Welcome back to Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. My name is Fred DePalma. I'm here with my wife, Robin DePalma, and we're going to go and interview one of our players. Robin, why don't you go ahead and introduce?
I know you had to give me this one.
Ah.
So he actually had to spell it out for me on how to say it.
But it's
Instead of-
easy.
Yeah.
Once you got it
So,
down, it's easy.
By Kimbe.
Correct.
I say it right? All right.
Right.
And nickname, Hit Stick,
Yep.
Kearney. All right. Now, first thing we got to ask, where does Hit Stick come from?
If you wasn't watching the game, I hit people hard. I like to hit people.
That works.
That's
Glad
good.
to have you on the team. You like to hit people. That's perfect.
All right. What position are you playing?
Right now I'm at cornerback, weak side corner, but I'm a defensive back. I could play safety. I have played safety before also.
Right. No, and I get it. Never at this level. I played football. You know, my kids played football. I coached it for about 20 years. But kids, I enjoy it. But I always coach defense because I like to hit people, and that's the whole reason. I don't want to block anybody. I just want to hit them. So that's what I think about defense. It gives you that opportunity to just get to be, a hitman, right? Get right in there and do it.
Yep. I can agree with that.
That's why I like defense.
So you said your name is from the Congo. So what's your history?
To be honest, I'm American, but my mom got my name from Africa. Like, it's the African king in Congo.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So where are you from?
I'm from Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Nice. And how long have you been playing football? What age did you start?
Tackle football, probably about like 7 or 8, but flag football, like 5 and 6.
Nice. So lots of experience.
20 years.
Right. And were you always doing defense as a kid? You played both sides of the ball, and then you figured out you wanted defense?
I was mainly a defensive guy till like high school. I played receiver. I thought I was going to get recruited as a receiver. Honestly, when I went to college, when we introduced ourselves to the team, I was like, I'm a receiver or I'm an athlete. I didn't know what I was getting recruited for, to be honest. But found out that I was going to be on the defense side of the ball, and that's why I've been sticking at since.
Right. And where'd you go to school?
Undergrad, I went to UNC Pembroke. I started my master's. I'm in grad school at Winston-Salem State. So, like, my 5th year of eligibility, I did it at Winston-Salem State.
Okay. And what year did you graduate?
2018.
2018?
December 2018.
Okay. And how long you been in the pro ball game?
Since 2020, 5 years now.
Okay,
I
great.
started my first year with Omaha Beef.
Right.
I think it was before COVID, I think. Or it might have been, like, at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a funny year, depending on
Yeah.
what month the team started.
Yeah, I'm not
is
too
what really
familiar.
happened there.
But it was my football time. My pro timeline was I was with Omaha Beef, and then after that, I was with San Antonio Gunslingers. Then I came home. Then I went overseas. No, matter of fact, before that, let's go back again. I went to Omaha Beef. I went to San Antonio. While I was in San Antonio, our bye week, I had a CFL workout. I went to that. My car got stolen. I ended up getting recruited by another team. That was the Tucson Sugar Skulls, 22. My guy, DeQuan Neal, he's the quarterback for Quad City now. He was out there. He's from my area also,
Okay.
back home. He got me out there with Dixie Wooten. Went out there, played for a couple games, got my release. Things didn't work out. 2023, I started off in Finland, actually. I was with the Porvoon Butchers in the Maple League. I didn't really like the competition level. Like, it wasn't what I expected.
Right.
Because it's like, it's a high level of football in the indoor. So it's like, if you branch off and go play in other opportunities, if it's not like UFL, CFL or NFL or something, like it's kind of like a down drop, to be quite honest, on
Right.
the competition side of things. So I was just out there like reevaluating myself, and I was like, I got to get back indoors. So I went back to San Antonio, 23. Then last year I was in San Diego with the strike force for camp. The D coordinator had his crew, so it didn't really work out too well for me there. He was gonna help me get onto a team, so I went home for a couple of weeks, and then I ended up going to Quad City, and that's how I met Coach Hendricks. And in the this past all season, I had a couple opportunities, but I already had like a relationship with Coach Hendricks, so it was one of them things like he one of them guys that like stick his nose out there for you, like on and out the
Right.
field. If you need something, he can do it. He cook. He gonna invite you over. Stuff like it's just like the little things that like stick out to me as a player, like getting older now. So I just feel like I owe him a little bit of loyalty to come back and play for him.
Well, we appreciate it. We're so happy to have Coach Hendricks here with us too. He's just a great guy. I didn't really know him much before this. He's just his name and seeing him throughout the league, reports. So having him come out here and meet him and everything he's a great guy to have on our coaching staff. And I think the way he cares about his players and keeping an eye on them is just wonderful.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. So now when you played Omaha Beef, that was the NAL.
Actually, it was the CIF.
The CI, okay, right, because they've been
Champion
combinations
football.
there. So
Yeah.
now
They are a part of the NAL.
right. And then when you were at the Gunslingers,
We was in the NAL.
they were the
also.
NAL then, right? Because they came over to the IFL last year.
Yes, sir.
Was their first season at the IFL, and they just had a great game this past weekend where they beat San Jose in a close one.
Yep.
So that was good for them because now San Jose knows how to lose graciously. So
Bay
we'll go
Area?
out there to play them. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
call
Bay
it
Area.
San Jose?
Yeah.
I was a little confused.
Oh yeah. The Bay Area
the
Panthers
same
they're
thing?
in San Jose.
They're in San
Oh,
Jose,
yeah.
right?
We fly into San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't know.
Yeah, so they're right there. So it's the same thing. So so they just had a close game with the Panthers that they won,
Yep.
and which we were like, that's good because we have them with our next game, and so I'm happy they know how to lose a game. So when we get out there, they're used to it.
Yep.
So that's the way it goes. So with your football, you've been playing football for quite some time. What would be one of your best memories, whether you were 5 or you were 25? What was something in there that you go, you know what, that was really cool, or that's just something that'll never leave me, or that was like a big turning point or learning experience?
I would have to say the big turning point for me last year was getting cut. It sounds funny, but that was like, it was real humbling. It was like an eye opener because I always thought like I was good enough to make any team. However, like things work out different. Some coaches got different like plans and how they want things ran and stuff like that. So it's not always about skill set. So that was one of those things that helped me like open my eyes as a player on and off the field, was being cut for the first time, to be honest.
We're parents and now we're grandparents, and with all of our parents out there, I think that's such a big thing outside of football. Even about, you just said it, about being cut. I learned something because we're in a society so much where everybody wins and everybody gets the gold star and everybody gets the gold medal, and there's so many parents that get upset with our other business that we run because their child didn't get the best score, and then they demand it. It's like sometimes you have to lose, or sometimes you have to be cut, or sometimes you have to get beat by somebody else to realize I need to step up my game.
100%.
And if that never happens, and then you get into another situation in life, you don't know how to handle it. So I think you came back stronger because that happened. And I think we all need to know that we can't always be on top. We got to come back stronger. That's how we get to that position. So I think that's a great, without realizing, that's a great learning experience for all the kids out there and all the young parents out there to realize it's okay if we're not always number one, or we lose at something, or we get cut. That's okay. It's what we do with it. That's important. It's how we follow up afterwards. It's having a support system behind you that when this happens, somebody's got your back to help motivate you to keep you going forward.
100%.
No, and I'm excited because we'll get the best of you this year.
Yeah.
So-
You're coming in angry.
Right.
No, you're not coming in, but you're coming in, you now know,
purpose.
it can happen anytime.
Yeah.
So you got to stay at the top of your game. I mean, this is pro sports. And sometimes there's somebody playing this week that's not there next week, because you always have to be at the top of your game. You have to. That's just the name of professional sports. And you've learned that. And I think that's going to keep you. I mean, I've been watching you in practice. You know, you're stepping it up. You're doing good, and we enjoy watching you play. This is exciting.
Yes, sir.
So with this past game that we had, what was the takeaway you got out of it? That you know, on the positive side, what worked well for you at this game?
On the positive side, like being a much younger team, we're not too far off from gelling to where we need to be. I feel like we came out gunning that first half, and we just kind of like, I wouldn't say got lackadaisical. We kind of just didn't focus on like the task at hand, because the most important thing is the football, and we wasn't protecting the football. And when we needed to step up on defense, yeah, we got a couple stops here and there, but it was times that some of those touchdowns we could have limited and kept off the scoreboard also. So It was like one of those things, like me personally, I could have done better as a leader. I could have been more vocal, and it's something that I'm working on. I always look myself in the mirror and ask myself, what can I do better as a leader? What can I do better as a player? And that's really about it, because if they sleeping on us, they gonna see. That's all I really gotta say.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to talk too much, but we got a pretty good team.
Well, you know, in this game now, during the game, even though I'm there and I'm standing off by where instant replay TV is, I get to watch most of the game, but I don't get to really watch the game because we're doing so much. And Robin, if you ever see my wife at the games, everybody sees her at the games because she runs around that arena probably 50 times throughout the game. She's upstairs, downstairs, she's running everything in operations. So usually we go home after the game and watch it on Sunday. Oh, wow. You know, the day after. We haven't yet watched this one together at home because we went two different ways afterwards. You know, I went down to the valley because we had work to do there, and she stayed here. And then now we're back up. So this weekend we're going to watch it. But if I remember, did we stop them 2 or 3 times where we turned over the ball on 4th down?
We stopped them like 3 times.
Okay, I know. I remember 2, and I was thinking it was 3.
Maybe I got like a stop or 2, or maybe it might have been just one stop. But I know we got like a real good key stop, like near that 1 minute mark.
Yes,
I remember. I saw that.
It showed some resilience of our team, especially our defense.
Yeah. I mean, the reason the
grit that we had, just because.
Oh, without a doubt.
To keep the clock from rolling, you got to stop them behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. New rule for this year. Right. It's actually an old rule that we brought back, which means in the last minute of the game, if the offense doesn't move the ball forward at least an inch, then the clock will stop. So it's a free timeout for the defense. Yep. And what it does, it prevents teams from taking a knee. Now, I believe the number is 16. I could be wrong here. It's 14 or 16. I'm pretty sure it's 16. If a team's winning by 16 points in the last minute, they're then allowed to take a knee. But if they're not up by 16 points, they have to move the ball forward. Now, that was a rule a few years ago. They dropped it and allowed teams to take a knee. Well, we kind of voted that back, because it's the excitement of play. But to save on injuries, if somebody's winning more than 16, because you're not going to come back from that, instead of making them go forward and everybody just hitting each other, they could then take a knee. But 16 points up in a minute, you can get that, especially when we can score 10 points, per possession. We can get 16 points in a minute. So that's why they weren't taking a knee. If you look, they should have taken a knee. They couldn't. They had to move forward, and we got the ball back.
Yeah, and that's the part of the game I got to watch. And that was really exciting to watch. I'm like, look at
just to see us get that stop. Yeah. That's why I knew like we got a hungry team.
Yeah,
and that's what I like.
Well,
ain't nobody quit. Ain't nobody give up.
No.
Everybody fought to the whistle. Like,
it was great watching the defense.
We didn't even have
fight
to burn a timeout on defense.
Right,
we stopped them every time.
Yeah. And that was good. And we're going to look forward to watching that game. So we're going to log into the IFL network this weekend, and we're going to sit home and maybe cook a steak and, sit there and actually get a chance to watch the game from the beginning to the end.
And now I guess we got to hold up to Coach Hendrickson and have to invite you over if we cook a steak.
Yeah.
Coach Hendrickson can throw down. He always teasing us in the group chat. He be cooking. He had cooked like some salmon and some asparagus a couple of days ago.
Yeah, well, I saw him down in the locker room today, and I said, "How'd your weekend go?" He goes, I cooked some food, and I didn't even think about that. Now that you're mentioning, I guess that's his thing.
I'm not cooking steak. We're going to go over to his place.
Yeah, I know where he's staying. So that'd be great. Well, we're excited to have you on the team, and that you took the time out to come here and chat with us and everything. Rob, any more you want to ask?
No, I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see what you guys do this season. I saw a lot of good stuff. The little bits that I did get to watch parts of the game between my running.
Yeah.
And what I did see, I saw a lot of good things. I'm really excited.
Well, let's roll right into this, what do we have going on during our next home game?
Oh, the next home game is on Easter weekend.
The Saturday
of Easter weekend. Game theme is faith and family. And we're going to be inviting a lot of different congregations from the area, as many churches as we can get to come out and set up on the concourse and show the faith side of Easter and what that's about. And then also we're going to bring in the kids side of Easter and do a big Easter egg hunt before the game.
Oh yeah.
Now
So
last
that'll be
year
fun.
the Easter Bunny came. Is the Easter Bunny coming again this year?
I'm working on it. I
All
hope
right.
so. If he's
All
not
right.
too busy, we'll be bringing him
We've
in.
been
So, you
texting
know.
the Easter Bunny. We actually do have the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny does have a cell phone. We've been texting. The Easter Bunny was here last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can make that connection and get the Easter Bunny back again. Now, didn't we have where the kids come in to the game, they can grab an Easter egg that's at all the doors. So they can go and
Yeah,
get
they grab
those.
a lot of Easter eggs.
They
as
grab a lot of
walk in.
Easter eggs,
Yeah, a lot of
okay.
Easter eggs as they walk in. So.
Okay. The kids.
The kids,
kids,
yeah. But I hear
everybody.
this year, I'm letting all the sponsors that are donating the Easter eggs know to put a special for the parents. So they're gonna have a flyer on the outside of the box holding all the Easter eggs. That's a special for the parents too. So the parents will get
Okay.
kind of an Easter egg,
Eggs
but they'll
are
get a
pretty
treat
expensive
also.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, last year, Legacy Jewelry put like a ruby in one of
Oh,
the
she
eggs.
did.
And so there was one egg with an actual ruby in it.
That
Yeah.
bag
And,
she gave us was real.
Yeah,
real
yeah.
neat,
Oh,
too.
yeah. She does a great job helping out the team and
was
supporting
very-
you guys. And so Legacy
very
Jewelry
thoughtful.
she put a ruby in there. And I remember because a girl won it or got the egg and she didn't know what to do. And at the end of the game, she comes walking up the wall and she finds me and she goes, I got this inside the egg. What am I supposed to do? I said, keep it. Put it in your pocket. That's yours. She
Right.
didn't know she was supposed to keep it. Wasn't a
Put it on a
mistake.
necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And anything else we have going on, Robin, for this game? It's going to be a big Easter day.
Oh yeah, halftime.
Halftime.
Is going to be youth football challenge. So it's going to be all the youth football leagues coming out, and they're not playing football against each other. They're doing tug of war. They're going to be doing field goal kicks, doing some fun relay things, passing the football and running around cones and things like that. So
Great,
all the
great.
youth football leagues will be out for that. So
So it's like the Olympics of youth
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
It's a combine.
We have a little
It's going to be
bit
a
of
combine for
combine,
youth
yeah.
football. That's what we're doing. Youth football combine competition.
and Abaya Judd Elementary will be singing the national anthem. Abaya Judd Elementary Choir.
Oh, that's great.
And they did it for us last year. They did a great job. So these
Yeah.
kids, it's just pretty awesome to have them out.
So everybody knows what we try to do is we're a community football team, and we want the people who do the national anthem and half times be from our community. That's what we're looking for. I'd rather have a kids choir come sing the national anthem than bringing a big name person that's not from here. And that's what it's about. And to me, and being a vet, it sounds better
Right.
when people are singing it from their heart, than having a pro singer doing it. Without a doubt, it's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Oh, and I think we're having some youth young Marines. Young Marines are doing color guard
Hoorah.
this game too. So yeah,
Great. And
A
then
lot of
who
kids
are we
involved.
playing that day?
Tucson.
Tucson. Okay.
Tucson Sugar Skulls.
Right. Well, okay. That's a little
Like you-
in-state
you-
righty going on there.
yeah.
So
We
we're
taking
gonna have to
them
play
down.
them. Yeah. So that's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah. So they usually come up with some fans. I have to say, with our fans, I know this is your first time here with us, is we have tailgating. So everybody that's coming to the games come out early. There's always tailgating going on outside. There's people have their campers, their grills, everything. There's all sorts of stuff happening outside. And what happens when other fans come up, usually like Glendale, the Rattlers, and Tucson Sugar Skulls, and even some people from San Diego that drive out here for the games, and Vegas. They say they love it because we have tailgating, and that our fans are always like, come join us. And they have a good time outside. Everyone's getting along. Then they come in, they start yelling at each other a little bit during the game because that's what fans do. And then when it's over, they're all hanging back outside again, giving each other high fives. So I think, our community here really welcomes everybody else in. It's like we just want to enjoy the game, want to support our team, but we want to enjoy our time while we're there. And that's what we're trying to build here in the community. We have a big entertainment venue going on that happens to be a football game.
Oh yeah.
So we have a lot of fun doing that. Okay. Well, hey, I have nothing else to add today. Robin, do you?
Well, I did want to show you some of our new team shop items.
Oh, okay. You have some of those things?
Well, we're gonna have to come back. for
Well,
that.
we're gonna break. You guys probably even noticed that we went on a break. We're gonna come back and go over that, and also talk about our new Mustangs. Because I was so excited about seeing them out there. It was fabulous. And when the team was being introduced,
Did you
watching
notice
them do
them?
tricks,
Did you see the
Yeah.
girls?
they
Like
were throwing
There
them
were
and
some
flipping
boys
them in the
too.
air.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was great that we had them there. That was a lot of fun. But anyways, I appreciate you being here today.
It's a
Thank you
blessing
very
to be
much
here.
for your time being on the team.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. Here with Robin Palama, who has some things with us that's in our team shop she wants to share with everybody.
Yeah, so while you were all, being lazy during off season, we were working really, really hard to get a lot of new things put together for you this year, like that whiskey that's hiding back there. So anyway, we got new team shop items this year, and so we brought a couple things in just to showcase today in case you didn't make it in the team shop on Saturday. This is my favorite. This is our Squishmallow whiskey. And I was so excited to find these, and I couldn't believe how good they came out. So again, got those in the team shop. You got to come get one. They're priced really well, and granddaughter, daughter, niece, nephew.
Our 2-year-old granddaughter got the first one out of the box.
She did.
So,
and then we got some nice NAZ Wrangler license plates. Since we don't have to have front license plates on our vehicles, we could put that on the front there, or hang it up in your garage or bedroom, whatever. But I thought those are pretty neat. This is the new game ball for the year. So we've got the game balls for sale in the team shop. We have whiskey stickers this year, brand new whiskey stickers. Oh, and you got some poker chips.
We have whiskey poker chips as well.
Whiskey poker chips also. And then this I was most excited about. Legacy Jewelry approached me last year, and she goes, I can get custom NAZ Wranglers Citizen Echo Drive watches made. So here they are, Citizen Echo Drive watches with the, I don't know if you can see it in here, but there's the our shield right in there. So NAZ Wrangler, and got those in the team shop. So I was just super excited about these. These are pretty awesome. Anyway, so also new t-shirt designs, new hoodie designs, new jackets, zip-up jackets, polos.
If you were at the first game.
Oh, white jerseys this year?
Yeah.
White jerseys?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's different things now already in the team shop since the first game. We had more items that were coming in that didn't make it before the first game, and now there's more things. For our fans that came, our season ticket holders that came to the season ticket holder pickup and got to meet the players that came into our team shop, you notice all the boxes are still in the corner.
Yeah.
Our team shop's not set up year-round. We kind of get kicked out of there at the end of the season, and we have to box everything. So people were coming in, and we had
it was
half
only half set up. Yeah, it was only half
set
up for that. So if you didn't go back in Saturday, you got to go back in.
Saturday
There's a
we
lot
had
more stuff.
and now there's even more stuff that's being hung up right now for the next home game, which is still 3 weekends out, right?
And if you notice that the hats were sold out, we sold out of all of our hats except a few red ones already. So we'll have more in.
I just walked through. I think there was
the
4 or 5 red hats with different ones of our logos and 1 blue hat left.
Right.
So we'll get more of those.
I guess you guys like your hats.
And then we want to talk a little bit about our Mustangs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was exciting.
That
if you
was
were at
so
the game and you saw the Mustangs.
Did you notice when you walked in the door, they were holding each other up on their hands and tossing each other right as you were walking in the door?
We're always talking to our football athletes, but I got to tell you,
oh my gosh,
that team, talk about some athletes on that team. I mean, throwing each other up in the air, flipping around, catching. It was like watching the cheer competition on ESPN is what I was just standing there going like, oh my goodness, this is incredible.
Yeah, and I hear they're bringing more. So we brought in the Storm Elite Mustangs this year because they're national cheer champions. That's hard to say.
Yes.
So they travel national. In Florida, they won the national championship. I think she said that was last year. And I mean, they're a highly competitive cheer team, and we knew they would bring a lot of talent and a lot of excitement to the games. And I hear they're bringing a drum line to the next game.
Yes.
So they're bringing a whole performance with them. This
is local. Again, we're all about local. So all of our people on the Storm Elite cheer team, they're all local. They're your neighbors. They're the people that live here in the Quad Cities or around them that are part of this national competition team that are also our Mustangs. And just bringing a whole nother level to the IFL, I feel, when it comes for talent.
Right.
Out there on the field. They're dancing, they're cheering, but they're just incredible with what they do.
Yeah, and you'll get to meet them up close and personal with all the giveaways we're doing in our games this year. We are focusing on giveaways. That's why I told all of our sponsors, I said, help me spoil our fans. Every game, I want to be giving away as many things that we can possibly give away. So this past game, we gave away custard from Culver's. We gave away free ice cream from A&W. The fan field goal kick, we had a girl out there. She won a month of free car washes from Ocean Blue.
Her first kick right through. And I feel bad, but the other team had a challenge with kicking. I thought maybe she'd come back out after the half.
Yeah, they might.
but she did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on anybody. But
The Fat
was
Frog,
true.
the new sports bar, is the sports bar of the NAZ Wranglers. They brought down 100 T-shirts to toss. We didn't get all 100 tossed because we couldn't toss 130 seconds. So we'll have more going out the next game. We'll get the rest tossed out the next game.
Unless they have one my size, it'll be one short.
That's right. So anyway, we're going to continue those type of giveaways, throughout the whole season. So I keep telling our sponsors, let's spoil our fans. Let's give them lots of good stuff when they come out. So.
Yeah, we want to just have fun with everybody while you're there and enjoying a football game. We have these great guys on the team and coaches, and we just want to make sure everybody's having a good time to support them. So whatever you can do in our community to help support our players, or if you want to help support our players, reach out to our office, give a call at 928-379-5581. We can help you with season tickets, and we can also tell you how you can join different little groups that do things to help support the team. Biggest thing that we're always doing is feeding the team. We personally have to feed them 2 times a day. And we have a lot of local restaurants and all the way to fries and everything that will donate a meal for the team here and there. And so you can look online about our different restaurants. It's called our Coach Dave Moran meal table. Of course, named after our late coach from last year, defense coordinator, David Moran. And so we have people that participate in that. I've had people reach out to us, Tractor Supply. They reached out and said, hey, we're not a restaurant, I want to feed the team. So
AZ Tractor Works?
Yeah, AZ Tractor Works. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. AZ Tractor Works, they teamed up with the Avengers,
the Avengers
football team. And together, they're feeding the team each month once. So what they're doing,
2 times a month.
2 times a
Yeah,
month. They're
2
doing a
times a month.
potluck, and they're bringing it to their apartment so the guys can come out and get fed.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just hang out with the team for a meal, you can go. They have grills and a whole kitchen at the apartment complex. You can go cook up a meal for them yourself,
Right,
and get to have family dinner with the whole
Right.
team.
Organizations
It'll be
can
a lot
help
of
with
fun.
that part, would
Yeah.
be a potluck or bring them in food, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
It helps us keep the team here because we have to go through all of these meals, and we're always so grateful for all of our local restaurants that kick in, that we do market them on our social media. There's no way I could go through the whole list of them here, but you'll see them. You'll see us mentioning their names all the time because, it takes a village. So it takes a community. It takes community to keep this team in town. So thank you very much.
All right. Well, next home game, April 19th, Easter weekend. We'll
All
see
right.
you all there.
Get your tickets. Bring your friends. Go Wranglers.